While high-demand hybrids and reliable commuters vanish off dealer lots in a matter of days, a select group of brand-new vehicles are accumulating months of dust. Sky-high prices, awkward redesigns, and rapid depreciation have left dealerships holding hundreds of days' worth of unsold stock that costs them money every day it sits. Here are 10 cars dealers can't get rid of and exactly what's going on. Number 10. Buick Envision. The Buick Envision has quietly become one of the biggest headaches on dealer lots, and the numbers are brutal. This compact crossover is sitting for roughly 220 days on average, with more than 11,000 unsold units clogging inventory nationwide. Sales cratered a staggering 81% in a recent quarter, leaving dealers staring at nearly a full year's supply, and that's the kind of pileup that keeps sales managers awake at night. So what's going on? Part of the problem is that the Envision has faded into anonymity in a fiercely competitive segment. It isn't a bad vehicle by any measure, but it fails to stand out against sharper, better-marketed rivals, and Buick's brand image simply doesn't pull younger buyers into showrooms the way Toyota or Honda does. The Chinese-built Origin has also spooked some shoppers amid tariff uncertainty and trade tensions, adding hesitation at exactly the wrong moment. Buyers browsing this class have overwhelming choice, and the Envision offers little that competitors don't do better or cheaper, so it gets overlooked. With inventory this bloated, dealers are being forced into aggressive discounting just to move metal, which is punishing for both margins and resale value. That downward spiral makes existing owners nervous and future buyers even more cautious, deepening the problem. For bargain hunters, this is genuinely good news, since a car nobody wants often becomes a car you can steal on price. But for Buick and its dealers, the Envision has become a slow-motion inventory disaster, and that's exactly why it lands at number 10. Number 9. Jeep Grand Wagoneer. The Jeep Grand Wagoneer is a luxury behemoth that dealers simply cannot move, sitting for a punishing 288 days on average with an eye-watering price tag around $102,000. That six-figure sticker is the heart of the problem, because at that money buyers expect established prestige, and Jeep, for all its off-road heritage, doesn't carry the badge cachet of Mercedes, BMW, or even Cadillac in the ultra-luxury SUV arena. When you're spending over $100,000, the name on the grille matters enormously, and many affluent shoppers simply aren't willing to pay Range Rover money for a Jeep. The timing hasn't helped either. High interest rates have made massive, expensive vehicles far harder to finance, and the Grand Wagoneer's thirsty engine and enormous footprint feel increasingly out of step with buyers who are watching fuel and running costs more closely than ever. It's a genuinely capable and comfortable machine, but capability alone doesn't justify a payment that rivals a luxury mortgage. The result is lots full of unsold inventory and dealers slashing prices dramatically to tempt anyone willing to bite, which in turn tanks resale value and scares off the status-conscious buyers this vehicle was designed to attract. That combination of an unproven luxury reputation at a stratospheric price, brutal economics, and shifting buyer priorities has left the Grand Wagoneer stranded. For the rare shopper genuinely wanting this much truck, the deals right now are extraordinary. But for Jeep's dealers, it has become an expensive anchor weighing down the lot, and that's precisely why the Grand Wagoneer earns number 9 on this list. Number 8. Mercedes-Benz EQS. The Mercedes-Benz EQS was supposed to be the electric flagship that redefined luxury, but instead it's become one of the hardest cars in America to sell, languishing for a staggering 243 days on lots at an average price of around $112,000. The story here is a cautionary tale about electric depreciation, because the EQS has suffered some of the steepest value collapse in the entire luxury market, reportedly shedding close to half its worth in the first year and tens of thousands more after that. That kind of financial hemorrhage terrifies buyers, and word has spread fast. When shoppers realize a $112,000 car could be worth a fraction of that in just a couple of years, they run for the exits, and dealers are left holding vehicles nobody wants to gamble on. The broader cooling of luxury EV demand has hammered the EQS further, as wealthy buyers increasingly gravitate toward electric SUVs or simply stick with proven gas-powered flagships like the S-Class, which holds value far better. The EQS's polarizing egg-shaped styling hasn't won universal love either, giving hesitant buyers yet another reason to pass. Add reported quality concerns and the general anxiety around expensive EV batteries aging, and you have a perfect storm of buyer reluctance. Dealers are responding with heavy discounts, but slashing the price only reinforces the depreciation problem, creating a vicious cycle that scares off even more prospects. For a cash buyer unbothered by resale, the EQS is now an incredible amount of luxury for the money. But as a business proposition for dealers, it's a slow-selling liability, and that's why the Mercedes-Benz EQS sits at number 8. Number 7. Maserati Grecale. The Maserati Grecale is proof that a prestigious badge alone can't guarantee sales, sitting for an astonishing 300 days on average with a lofty price around $95,000. Maserati as a brand is in genuine trouble, with sales spiraling downward, and the Grecale is caught squarely in that collapse. The core issue is a brutal value equation. At nearly $95,000, this compact luxury SUV competes against far more established and better-engineered rivals from Porsche, BMW, and Mercedes that offer superior technology, stronger reliability records, and far better resale value. Buyers spending this kind of money do their homework, and the Grecale consistently comes up short on the very metrics that matter most at this price. Reliability concerns have long haunted the Maserati name, and in a segment where dependability is expected, that reputation is poison. Projected depreciation is severe, with some analysts warning the electric version could lose half its value quickly, and that scares off all but the most brand-loyal buyers. The result is lots full of Grecales that simply won't move, forcing dealers into deep discounts that further erode the brand's exclusivity and resale strength. There's also the practical problem that Maserati's dealer and service network is thin, adding ownership anxiety for anyone considering the leap. It's a beautiful, characterful vehicle with genuine Italian flair, but flair doesn't pay the bills when reliability, resale, and value all point the wrong way. For a passionate buyer chasing something different, bargains abound right now. But for dealers, the Grecale has become dead weight, and that's why it takes number 7. Number 6. Jeep Recon. The Jeep Recon rolled onto the electric scene promising rugged off-road capability with zero emissions, but it's turning into a tough sell that dealers are struggling to move, and the reasons come down to hard math. Price starting around $67,000, the Recon asks premium money, yet delivers an EPA range of only about 222 miles, and that combination is a serious problem in today's EV market. Buyers spending nearly $70,000 on an electric vehicle expect competitive range, and coming up well short of 250 miles makes the Recon a hard pitch when rivals offer more driving distance for similar or less money. The timing has been especially unkind, arriving just as federal EV incentives expired, which stripped away the discount that once made pricey electric vehicles more palatable and left shoppers facing the full sticker with no cushion. There's also an inherent tension in the Recon's identity. It markets itself as a rugged, adventure-ready off-roader, yet its limited range makes the kind of remote backcountry trips its image promises genuinely impractical, since charging infrastructure thins out exactly where the Recon claims to shine. That contradiction gives hesitant buyers real pause. Add the general cooling of EV demand and buyer wariness about battery costs and resale, and the Recon faces stiff headwinds from every direction. Dealers are left with an expensive, niche electric SUV that appeals to a shrinking pool of buyers. It's a bold and genuinely capable machine in many respects, but the price-to-range equation simply doesn't add up for most shoppers right now, and that's why the Jeep Recon lands at number 6. Number 5. Ford Mustang Mach-E. The Ford Mustang Mach-E once rode a wave of hype as the electric revival of an iconic name, but it's now one of the electric vehicles dealers are fighting hardest to move, with sales plunging dramatically in recent months. In one recent stretch, monthly sales cratered more than 70%, and the timing tells the whole story. The expiration of federal EV tax credits ripped away the incentive that made the Mach-E affordable for many buyers. And without that subsidy, the price suddenly felt far steeper to shoppers who had been counting on the discount to make the numbers work. That single change turned a steady seller into a lot clogger almost overnight. The broader cooling of EV demand has piled on, as mainstream buyers grow more cautious about charging convenience, battery longevity, and resale value, all of which weigh heavily on an electric crossover at this price. There's also lingering brand confusion, since attaching the storied Mustang name to an electric SUV alienated some purists while failing to fully convince EV shoppers, leaving the Mach-E caught awkwardly between two audiences. Ford has responded with heavy discounts and aggressive incentives to keep the metal moving, but that discounting hammers resale value and signals to buyers that the vehicle is struggling, which only deepens the reluctance. It's a genuinely good electric crossover with strong performance and everyday practicality, but it's fighting a market that has turned sharply against pricey EVs without subsidies. For buyers who can charge at home and love a deal, the Mach-E is now a bargain. But for dealers, it's become a slow mover, and that's why it sits at number 5. Number 4, Nissan Rogue. The Nissan Rogue is a genuinely popular nameplate, which makes it surprising to find a version of it among the cars dealers can't get rid of, yet the plug-in hybrid variant tops the slow seller charts with an astonishing 443 days of supply. The story here is a mismatch between what Nissan is offering and what buyers actually want. While the standard Rogue sells perfectly well, this particular electrified version has struggled to find an audience, and the reasons are largely about price and value. Plug-in hybrids occupy an awkward middle ground, costing considerably more than a conventional Rogue while asking buyers to pay a premium for technology many shoppers don't fully understand or feel they need. When the math shows a steep upcharge for benefits that take years to recoup at the pump, cautious buyers simply default to the cheaper, familiar gas version sitting right next to it on the lot. That leaves the electrified Rogue stranded. Nissan as a brand has also been battling broader challenges, including an aging lineup in places and inventory management struggles that have forced production cuts. And this slow-selling variant is a symptom of that wider strain. The expiration of certain federal incentives removed another reason to choose the plug-in over the standard model, further tilting buyers toward the conventional option. Dealers are left with electrified units that move at a glacial pace while the regular Rogue flies off the lot beside them. It's not that the vehicle is flawed, but rather that it's the wrong version at the wrong price for today's buyer. And that's why the Nissan Rogue plug-in earns number 4. Number 3, Jeep Cherokee. The Jeep Cherokee is a storied nameplate that has fallen on hard times at the dealership, sitting for roughly 177 days on average as unsold units pile up on lots across the country. Jeep as a whole has been wrestling with serious challenges, and the Cherokee sits right in the middle of that struggle. The brand made a series of pricing and strategic missteps in recent years, pushing stickers higher and higher until many loyal buyers were priced out. And the Cherokee got caught in that squeeze just as competition in the compact and midsize SUV space grew fiercer than ever. Shoppers browsing this segment have an enormous range of choices, many of them from brands with stronger reliability reputations and better resale value, and the Cherokee has struggled to make a compelling case against them. Jeep's reputation for dependability has also taken hits, and in a market where buyers increasingly prioritize long-term reliability and low ownership costs, that reputation is a real liability. Add in the general belt-tightening among buyers facing high interest rates, and a vehicle that feels overpriced relative to its rivals becomes an easy one to skip. The result is inventory that lingers, forcing dealers into discounts and incentives that dent both margins and the brand's resale strength. Jeep has been attempting a broad structural reset to fix these problems, but turning around buyer perception takes time, and in the meantime the Cherokee keeps sitting. For deal hunters, that means real leverage at the negotiating table right now. But for dealers, it remains a frustrating slow mover. And that's exactly why the Jeep Cherokee lands at number 3. Number 2. Toyota CHR. The Toyota CHR made a bold return as an all-electric SUV, and while it brings genuine style and punchy performance to the table, it's proving a tough one for dealers to move, landing near the very top of the slow seller rankings. The core challenge is price and positioning. At an MSRP starting around $37,000, this electric compact bumps right up against Toyota's own wildly popular hybrid RAV4. And that internal competition is a real problem, because many buyers walking into a Toyota showroom would rather have the proven, practical, gas-sipping RAV4 than gamble on a pricier electric model with a smaller footprint. When your biggest rival is a car wearing the same badge, moving the metal gets complicated. The broader cooling of EV demand hasn't helped, as mainstream shoppers grow more cautious about charging logistics, battery longevity, and resale value, all of which weigh on an electric vehicle at this price. Toyota recognized the struggle and applied a $5,000 discount to bring the CHR closer to hybrid RAV4 territory, which itself signals just how hard the vehicle has been to sell at full price. The CHR's swoopy, aggressive styling is polarizing too, drawing in some buyers while turning others away, and its rear visibility and tighter interior give practical-minded shoppers further pause. It's a fun, distinctive electric SUV with real appeal for the right buyer, but it's fighting an uphill battle against its own family and a wary market. That combination of internal competition, EV hesitation, and a premium price has left it sitting, and that's why the Toyota CHR takes number 2. Number 1. Volkswagen ID.4. The Volkswagen ID.4 claims the unfortunate top spot as the car dealers simply cannot get rid of, sitting for a jaw-dropping 374 days or more on lots, with some estimates pushing well beyond a year and a half of supply. This is a full-blown inventory crisis, and the reasons run deep. Volkswagen has actually paused ID.4 production in America and reportedly isn't planning a fresh model, meaning the units currently gathering dust are effectively the last of their kind, and buyers can sense that a discontinued electric vehicle is a risky bet on resale value and long-term support. That uncertainty alone sends cautious shoppers running. The expiration of federal EV incentives dealt another heavy blow, stripping away the discount that once made the ID.4 competitively priced and leaving it exposed against a flood of newer, more compelling electric rivals. The broader cooling of EV demand has only magnified the problem, as mainstream buyers grow wary of charging convenience, battery aging, and depreciation, all of which hit an aging, orphaned model especially hard. The ID.4 also earned a reputation for finicky software and a frustrating touch-based interface that soured early reviews and word of mouth, giving prospective buyers yet another reason to look elsewhere. Dealers are now slashing prices dramatically, with heavily discounted units advertised well below sticker, but even steep markdowns struggle to overcome the discontinuation cloud hanging over the vehicle. For a bargain hunter comfortable with an outgoing model, the deals are genuinely remarkable right now. But as a business problem, the ID.4 is the definitive lot clogger, and that's exactly why it sits at number 1. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.